Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Robloxers of all ages, welcome to the Creator Show, the first show of 2016 actually. I'm really excited to be here, and we have an awesome guest today I'm excited to hang out with. As you may have seen on the banner above me, it is Polyhex, or some of you may know him, Tyler McBride. He's made some cool stuff on Roblox, particularly his namesake game, Super Bomb Survival. So let's have him join us now. I think he's there on Skype. Tyler, are you there?
I am right here, yes.
Nice. He is here, folks. You might be able to see him in some sort of screen on here. He's joining us all the way from Tennessee. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's exciting. So anyway, we're going to take a look at Tyler's creations all across the Roblox history, talk to him about his development process, his thoughts on video games and building them all, and just kind of hang out and get to know him today. So let's talk a little bit about you, Tyler. First off, Tennessee, is that where you're from your whole life?
I was actually born in Virginia, and about 12 years ago, I moved here to Tennessee.
All right. And how are you enjoying Tennessee?
I've got some complaints, but it's pretty good.
Tennessee's all right. That's good. Here in California, everything in the middle is just kind of a big blur to me. So, I'm sure it's very nice there. Anyway, so how long have you been on Roblox, Tyler?
Since 2007, actually. I was like 15 or 14 then.
How did you find Roblox then?
There was this video by, I think, Mega Man 765 back then.
Wow, the number skills. Wow.
Yeah, it's ancient, but I saw a YouTube video of Roblox and I saw the physics and the building, and I was instantly in love.
That's funny. That was a very different game back then of what even we considered
really
physics.
Was.
Yeah, just like some basic block stacking. That's crazy. And so, did you try to initially make games, or you wanted to play them, or just kind of experiment with physics, or what kind of drew you in?
I remember the first thing I made was a ladder, because I thought it was so cool that you could just stack bricks with a space in between them and your character could climb it.
All right.
But yeah, I basically immediately started making little games and projects, and here I am, still here.
That's how it all began.
7 years later, yeah. That's
incredible, man. You must be one of the definitely the big old timers of the Roblox world.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's fast forward time a little bit. I guess let's just jump into playing some games here. We're going to look at Super Bomb Survival to start it off, and this has been your big breakout game. When did you initially start development of this?
Summer 2014, I think.
Okay.
And it took about 3 months to get into a fully working game, and I think it came out in November.
Okay. Sweet. And then how'd you get the idea for this game?
There was an old game actually called just Super Bomb Survival that someone named Thoral made.
Okay.
It was one of my favorite games in the old day, and basically the game went away and I missed it.
Okay.
And so one of my favorite things to do, what I've always kept in mind when making games, is that I want to make games that I want to play.
Right.
So that
that's a good motto with game design.
Yeah. And basically it was this simple idea: bombs are raining. There's the lobby was sort of styled on that old game Thoral made. And I wanted to make there's 40 bomb types now. There's 30 skills you can unlock.
Okay.
And I just kept adding content until it was its own experience.
Yeah, because there's a ton of unique stuff. So the initial game didn't have all the unique bomb types and everything?
It had maybe 5 to 10, and I actually only included a few of those basic ideas.
Okay.
And then I made up a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
If there was any specific gameplay purpose or way that something could hamper the player, I just threw it in.
Oh, you like that? You want them to kind of interact with as much as with each player?
Oh yeah, interactivity is a huge thing for me.
Cool. And then you have a lot of ability stuff here now. Was that initially in the game as well, or did you add that later? All the abilities and the passives?
There were initially 20 abilities and 7 perks, and now there's 30 abilities. Actually, more 35 because of the events. And Jack's trying to troll me.
Yeah, Jack is on. What is Jack's ability? What does he have? The confusion thing?
Yeah, the confusion ray that flips your controls for 10 seconds.
Classic.
But one thing that I'm actually working on now is a big overhaul to all of Super Bomb Survival's core mechanics. It'll still mostly be the same game, but I'm throwing out all the old UI. So I'm like redoing all the menus, all the shops. Basically, like all the save data stuff. That's going to be fun to do all over again.
You'll be having to so is your goal to migrate everyone's data, or are you going to have to do a wipe, you think?
Everyone's going to keep their data. It's going to like transfer to a new system that will make it so much easier to start like adding in perks and skills and just like hopefully rejuvenate the game with like a wave of content into 2016, which I'm pretty excited about.
Cool, that is awesome. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome game. I also noticed you did a lot of work on the lobby. Just looking at this lobby, this is a whole game in itself. Just playing here. How much time did you spend here?
Maybe a couple weeks making this lobby.
Okay.
This is actually not the original lobby. The original was a lot more similar to the old, just like bomb survival game. And this one, like, I don't know what spawned it, but like I was like remembering like memories of like old like roller derby rinks and like like old arcades, and I like love that neon, like those you notice the tacky carpet patterns everywhere.
Yes, absolutely. It is definitely like an old arcade. That is exactly which is like a lost thing at this point. Arcades. I don't know if maybe out somewhere else in the world there still exists, but here in California, there's like they're gone now.
Like one of my biggest hopes was to bring back that look, and I think I got it pretty all right.
Yeah, no, it's excellent. Yeah, this is just a great game. I love Super Bomb Survival's concept. It's got a lot of replayability, which is nice.
Yeah, thank you.
With all the leveling up. Actually, let's talk about the systems within the game a little bit here. So you have like multiple tiers of perks. Like, how did you plan the leveling system? Did you have a concept of that, like what you wanted your progression to be?
When I first made the game, I mistakenly thought that like 20 skills would be enough, and that like there would be no way that people would want more. There's so many things you can do.
Right.
And then I realized, like, this is my first game that's gotten this big, of course, and I realized that's not true. People love getting new stuff.
People really like content, yeah.
Even if it's just like dropping a banana peel on the ground, people like will eat that up.
No, it's very true.
So like now I'm like, dang, I have this like outdated saving system that only has like so many slots for these skills.
Okay.
And when making the second tier, actually, the only reason that it's like tiered is because of that like outdated system I made.
Because like, memory there.
I had to like work around Super Bomb Survival's weird archaic saving system to add new stuff, and that's why the game hasn't seen many new like skills recently, because basically 2014 Polyhex has helped me back. Okay,
that's funny. It's funny you say that, and I think that's a lot of when people design games on Roblox. There's so much learning that goes on with each game you build that by the time you get to the end, you're like, I'd like to redo this entire thing now, and then I could make it right, which is a little rough, but kind of how you learn.
One thing that I definitely learned is like, when you're making your game, definitely leave space for like whatever you want to add ahead. Like even if you don't necessarily have any ideas at the time, just like leave a bunch of empty spaces so that future you doesn't, look at the shop script of your game, for example, and groan in disgust.
Right. Yeah. Scalability is important.
Exactly. Scalability.
Yeah, it can be hard. Here we go. Now we can see some of the abilities here. Also, in case you guys haven't noticed, that is Jack in the Blocks playing for us today. Thank you, Jack. We have him tucked away in the other side of the room so he can compete for us. And he's doing all right. What do you think of Jack's play so far, Tyler?
It's pretty good. I think he survived at least one round.
Which he did. Before everyone got here, that first round, it was the game.
But what I'm going to do here for the next round is increase the intensity to 5.0.
Oh, nice. I've always wanted that. I always jump in and the intensity is like somewhere around the middle and never high enough. I'm like, man, one of these days I want to see what this really looks like when it's just craziness.
It's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
Intensity was like... Another thing I love to do in games is make it so that people of all skill levels and like all ages can play. And what intensity does is that while people are playing and like getting blown up or winning really well, the intensity goes up or down depending on like how well the server does. So like the general skill server reflects the intensity.
Really? How are you trying to measure that?
It's a really weird system, but
oh man, it's a lot of bombs.
Like the wins count, like how good a player is, that like affects their weight and how much it changes the slider.
Okay.
There's like, if everyone dies, then it scales back a whole lot. If everyone wins, then the server's like, okay, everyone's good.
Okay.
Let's increase it even more. Stuff like that.
That's awesome. That's a really cool mechanic in there. Yeah, you don't even notice the subtle stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have a favorite level? How did you design these levels? Let's hear more about those.
Actually, all these maps are user submitted,
Really?
which is really great. Yeah, this one is made by Radio Gamer, a good friend of mine.
Okay.
It reminds me of Rainbow Road, which is why it's one of my favorites.
I actually like this map a lot as well. I also like the way that kind of the rainbow bridges collapse and kind of lead to some new structures.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
But basically, I just asked for map submissions while I was making the game. And, I just died. I'm not actually good at Super Bomb Survival, by the way. But, like, I asked for all these, like, physics-based maps because, like, I love that classic Roblox style. Just things exploding and, like, parts flying everywhere.
Yeah.
And what I did when choosing the maps was not only, like, picking them by, like, if they looked cool, but also, like, when bombs interacted with them, if they were, like, really fun. Like, there's a lot of interesting structures in these maps, I feel. And I definitely want to add more, but if you're watching this and you want to build one, you should give it a shot.
Yeah, try it out. How do they submit them to you if they try to build one?
In my models, there is a SBS map kit, and you can take that and you can make a map, and then you can just message it to me.
Wow. So far, Jack is also doing wonderfully, by the way, on level 5 intensity, still at full health.
Yeah, he is. Wow.
So, you know. Oh, there's a big hit. I'm ready for a tall collapse here in the last 10 seconds.
Let's put shame over here.
Yeah. Doing a great job, though. Is there a standard for how deep these levels go? I know you have, like, the lava tier at the bottom. Like, do you have, like, criteria everyone has to follow when they design a map for you?
Fun fact, the maps are actually just like the one layer on top, and then like all the underground stuff is like pre-generated.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think it would be cool to like change that someday and make it so like it can be deeper or like really thin or like have a bunch of holes in it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, maybe someone will submit something new and creative and you'll be like, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool.
Yeah, anything that I found anything that adds more variety to just like the rounds adds a lot of replayability because it's like, what's going to happen in this round? That was one of the big things that I chose to do with the events update that like randomly adds like, you know, a storm or like there's like explosive ducks at one point. Like,
right. Anything fun? So have you thought about updating this game for different platforms? Maybe you do already. Is this game mobile friendly?
It is. It has been mobile friendly actually since day one. Because of the physics stuff, though, it doesn't work great on phones.
Okay.
But it works pretty good on iPads from what I've seen. Like all the touch controls are there.
Strong tablet game. Yeah, that's what I would think. That, you know, this game has got like a simple enough control scheme with enough replayability that has the potential to be great on mobile.
This version, the basic controls also work on gamepad, which is what I'm doing right now, actually.
Oh, and you're playing on an Xbox controller. That's very cool. Yeah, and I know we've talked a little bit about that. I guess I could maybe let out a little bit of a secret that you have been maybe developing some of this for Xbox for me. I know we've worked a lot on like the menus and stuff, and that's what's funny. You would say that is like, man, the UI is like one of the biggest tricks on getting a gamepad to work with something.
That's actually one of the reasons why I'm overhauling it, is so it will be easier to like work on the gamepad and more fluid.
Yeah, I've noticed it's been one of the biggest things ever for all you designers out there. If any creators are out there, man, those UIs, try to use them with gamepads. It really changes your whole concept of how to really build those systems.
It does.
Make them user-friendly. Yeah.
It flips your whole like understanding of UI upside down.
Right. You're like, oh man, So it can be a big struggle there. And this level's getting destroyed here.
Like after doing gamepad controls, I had like such a newfound respect for like anyone who works on like ports for games. Yeah,
right. Trying to get all those to work. It's just crazy. All the stuff you never really considered to be so important. Oh, Jack. That was awesome. Yeah, this game has those moments that makes it just kind of that catchiness. It's fun to watch.
What's your favorite skill?
I love helping new players, so my favorite skill is actually Healing Pulse. It like heals everyone nearby you.
So you actually play it as a team game. You think it's everyone should survive.
Yeah, like every time I heal a player that has 0 wins, I'm just like, that's player retention right there.
That's your strategy.
Just
that's
making sure that
Oh.
this new player survives around, just like now they can buy things.
Oh man, that's actually hilarious. That you make a competitive game and then be the helpful person. That's awesome. Well, I guess we could maybe move on. Should we take a look back at our next game on the list here? And now we've seen your great successes, Tyler. Let's see how it all began here. We're going to go back to the old games hub, the classic Tyler McBride before Polyhex.
Yeah, let's look at my embarrassing baby pictures, basically.
Yeah, that's what this is, right? So I will say I have not seen most of these games, but I did jump in this lobby, and I don't know if I've ever seen a cooler way to have like a portfolio of old lost projects. That you get your Tyler McBride AI to follow you around and tell you about everything. So is there somewhere we should start? What's your oldest project? Should we maybe take a look at that first, or
Oh my goodness.
maybe we shouldn't take a look at that one? Where did you start to become,
Okay, the oldest one worth looking at, I think, is probably
not Blueporia?
probably not that one. That was for like Roblox Machinima.
Okay.
I would try Roblox Adventure 2 or Roblox Adventure Original or Super Roblox Galaxy, which I think is the oldest.
Super Roblox Galaxy. Oh, that says 08. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's check it out.
Basically, how I got started was like making like 3D Mario inspired adventure games. And
Interesting.
for those of you watching, you might see a little a sneak peek of like a continuation of that in this stream.
Oh, good. And you're a raptor.
hmm Which one did you choose?
Oh, and he's gone.
So you can already tell that it just looks terrible.
Whoa! Now this looks fine. Nice and blocky. A little classic.
Oh, it's very classic. This is like late 2007, 2008 looks.
Yeah. So this is kind of like a Mario World, kind of inspired for the N64 looking thing. Here?
Yeah, this is obviously mostly inspired by Super Mario Galaxy. Like this hub area is like a direct rip-off of it.
Okay. Hey, that's how it all starts. That's how inspiration starts. You gotta ideas come from somewhere. Nothing's truly original, right? This is gonna be the real struggle. Getting up this ladder.
Yeah, I think you have to push that orange cube onto that grape. There you go. That guy figured it out.
Hey, these guys are good here. These are probably some fans who played it back in the day.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of those.
How did they drink that jump, Jack? Oh, they went around. Pretty excellent.
Oh my goodness. Just the old school building style really resonates.
Yeah, I know. It is funny. No change textures, just all in the basic blocks. It's cool, man.
Just a huge stretched decal for the sand down there.
Yeah, but I think this is really how. What is this?
That thing is supposed to spin.
That is incredible.
Our Kung Fu Panda 3 rickshaw.
I did not know that's what that is. That is hilarious. Why even play when someone can play for you? Wow. That's incredible. Can we climb this ladder with that?
That's another thing you'll notice is that gear is enabled. Because it was so broken that I didn't put the trust into just the basic controls. So it's like, I'll let people have motorcycles and stuff.
Right.
Oh
Look
my
at that classic star. That is well designed. Is that a person or a star? That is awesome. So that was the level. So is there lots of levels? Like, how big does this game actually go?
Not that big. That is actually the smallest level. The
Okay.
other two have like 3 objectives that you can do.
Uh-huh.
If you go to the left in the start area, over to like the green and pink teleporters.
Green and pink.
The green one is actually the first world, if you will.
Oh, this is the first world. Interesting. Okay. I mean, this is pretty cool. So, I find a great starting point for most people in Roblox is to kind of build these like obstacle course, kind of obby type maps. But, as far as they go, this one's pretty cool, right? You got a lot of moving parts. You got a lot of like central universe that kind of teleports you around to things. I mean, it's kind of a cool game.
Yeah, fun fact, what this was actually like my first game that wasn't just like something that already existed on Roblox. This was like I took a free modeled like money leaderboard script
Uh-huh.
and I like changed it into stars and lives, and then I like just figured out how like variables and stuff worked. Thanks to the wiki. The wiki is a great place. If you're starting out, check out the Roblox wiki.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be doing a lot of more work with that too, hopefully, and getting
Yeah,
more user
it's-
tutorials in there coming up soon.
It's especially become great like with all the new tutorials and stuff recently.
Yeah,
But,
we're doing a lot of new sorts to hopefully make it clearer and better.
Yeah, like I still use it daily.
Do you?
Uh-huh.
Actually, that does lead to actually one other point that maybe I'll bring up now that we're talking about the wiki. We're actually trying something new to get even more resources available to more developers. We're trying something called Stack Overflow. I don't know if people know that or hear about that, but we are creating the Roblox Stack Overflow in an attempt to get a real technical Q&A section for everyone out there to get more questions answered directly, because I know people have a lot of questions. We want to be able to answer everything for everyone. So
Yeah.
actually, we may throw up a link in chat at some point if someone has that, and we're going to take a look at Stack Exchange. Jump over there, take a look, follow it, vote on some questions. The point of our phase right now is to vote on questions, make Stack Overflow look like what we want it to look like, at least with what the questions should be. And then if we succeed, we'll get our own kind of servers for that, and we'll be able to answer a lot more questions a lot quicker from a lot more technical folks. So anyway, just wanted to bump that a little bit. Take a look at Stack Overflow. Hopefully we get a link in chat, and anyone out there watching can check that out. But
Awesome.
anyway, that's my learning plug there as we try to get new resources for you guys. But let's jump back into the action here.
Yeah, the action.
Yes, the exciting platforming adventure. Ooh, that was kind of fun mechanic though.
Yeah, the like stars that fling you around are like the most obvious like thing taken from Mario Galaxy, I think.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, they don't own necessarily the copyright on stars that fling you around. Plus, it's hard to tell that those are stars, so I think you're safe. Oh, look at that boosted. So this. Yeah, I was gonna say, how do we? Can we get back to the lobby? How does that work from this kind of?
I think you just have to close out and click the play button
Close
again.
that play again. Okay. All right. I was hoping you would find that star. Maybe we'll just restart real quickly.
The next one I would check out would probably be Roblox Adventure 2. That's
Okay.
the one like 2 games after this, and it's like a lot more polished for its time.
Okay. And what is the inspiration around this game? What are we looking at here?
Roblox Adventure 2 is more, well, it's more original, I'll say that much.
Okay.
It's got like some obvious like Mario 64 inspiration, I think, but I guess it kind of has to for that gameplay formula.
Right. So I guess you enjoyed Mario a lot growing up.
Yeah, I still do actually.
Do you? Have you been playing the Maker and Mario Maker and stuff?
Yeah, I'm a huge Nintendo fan.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, heck, they did a lot of great stuff.
Hmm
It's hard to not say. I mean, I think everyone's almost started out as a Nintendo fan. From the way
Yeah,
old days.
Jack there just met up with 2008 Polyhex. I have not actually changed my character's clothes for like 6 years.
Hey, man, if it works. Once you get an identity, you don't want to change that. That's part of, online
exactly.
branding, right?
Yeah, branding, we'll say that.
Yeah. Well, actually, when did you change your name to Polyhex from Tyler McBride?
Actually, late last year,
Okay.
maybe only a few months ago, actually.
Okay. Nope, so we won. What did we achieve there? What just happened?
I got an R.
You got R. So were you trying to spell Roblox?
Those are Roblox tokens. They're basically the stars of the game.
Okay.
There's like, I think 5 of them in every world. And as you get more of them, you like can get to the later worlds and stuff.
Uh-huh.
It starts with like the weird terraces level, like just the grass level, then a desert, then another grass level, and then a bank. It's like the Roblox National Bank or something. So that was an interesting world type, but like I'm a big fan of those like indoor weird open space kind of levels in platformers.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of a cool world. I mean, even if you think some of the mechanics are derived from Mario, I mean, this is original level design. It's cool.
Uh-huh. Like obviously this is still like really old stuff and there's still free models like the warp pipes for existence. For example, rather. And so like you can see this compared to that Super Roblox Galaxy game.
Yeah.
I was like establishing more of an identity and like This game, Roblox Adventure 2, is actually what most like.
That lava is wonderful, by the way.
Yeah, this is what like most old timey people remember most. Like,
Yeah.
this was my game that was like on the front page with
Yeah.
number one in the number one slot with maybe 30 people in 2008.
That's just incredible. So I noticed also this is becoming a little more advanced. Looks like you're getting more of a grasp on coding here. When did you kind of develop your skills in Lua, and how did you learn those?
One thing I will say, especially to newer people who want to get into scripting, is don't be afraid to like jump into free models and just look at things. And what I did especially that helped me to understand stuff was I would change numbers or like remove lines and see what that did.
Right.
And basically kind of dissect stuff that already exists, and you'll get a greater understanding of like how Roblox works.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you took a lot, and where were you finding this initial code from? Like kind of wikis and just like copy and paste this, then just see what it runs like, edit it a bit, like,
Yeah.
oh, that's when I change this variable, what happens?
There was a lot of copy and pasting involved.
Yeah.
A lot of, especially in these old days, just kind of flat out taking other scripts and just like
Right.
putting them where they applied, like maybe not where their initial purpose would work,
Yeah.
but like you change one thing and then it's like suddenly something great.
Right. No, I mean, that makes a lot of sense here.
Fun fact, the sand that Jack is walking on, the orange stuff, is supposed to hurt you, but
I was wondering about that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, in 2008, it bounced you around and hurt you, but now it just kind of makes you hover like a stud above the ground.
I assume you have not updated this in quite some time.
I have not.
Yeah, that's all right here.
Well, it's a relic, you know. It's good to see like how I got started.
Right. Oh, the platform broke. Broke it, Jack.
This area actually used to have a bunch of thwomps, like cubes that would
Yeah.
like try to crush you. But they broke, and 2008 me didn't know how to fix them, so I just took them out completely.
Feature removed. We called it too hard, so we got rid of that.
Game design.
Yes, absolutely. Back when you're 16, you know, that's kind of how game design works.
Yeah, it is.
I also noticed your two abilities here are reset and give up. What do those do exactly?
Both very useful tools.
Okay.
I doubt they actually work anymore, but
Very good.
reset just breaks your character, and then give up just sends you back
Did
to
it.
the hub.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice. So we did it. We got one more. Cool. So do you think there's maybe one more game on the classic list we could take a look at?
Sure.
I guess we have to... Give up only goes to the main menu here, not all the way back to the main game hub.
Oh no, unfortunately.
All right. Quick restart. I still love the lobby that you made for this whole thing. It's pretty cool, I gotta say. And a few people would do this like to archive all their old work. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's a really nice way to just keep the clutter on your games down and
Yeah.
put all the stuff that maybe doesn't deserve a slot anymore into
No, it
just
is.
one
It's very
place.
cool. All right, so what should we look at now? I see we have maybe some of the later stuff. What do we have? Gear
me
Lagoon
think.
or
Let's try the Doomspire.
Doomspire.
game.
Okay, that was the other one I saw. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this was my first try at making a mini game, basically.
Okay. Doomspire is the minigame.
Yes.
All right, so what are we going to do here?
Hopefully it's not broken already. But touch this green pad and it should put us into the next game.
Okay. Please wait. It says please wait at the top, so, you know, we can have some faith.
Yeah, like that. This is like the first lobby I made for something like this.
Yeah.
Somebody might have already broken it.
Okay.
Because I think like anything that isn't a player that touches it just destroys the entire game mainframe.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
Get ready.
It says get ready. Yeah, this is completely broken.
Jack isn't supposed to just float around and be green?
Yeah, you can just sit up on this like little glass floor thing and watch the Doomspire explode.
Okay.
But otherwise, yeah, there's like no gameplay.
Oh, because it broke. So what would normally happen? You'd be teleported down there and something exciting would happen?
Yeah, it was like of course, like since I love the explosions and physics so much, even back then, There's like a huge bomb at the bottom of the tower, and everyone starts down there, and they have to run up the tower and get like as far away from it as possible. Then it explodes, and you have to try to like survive on like the broken pieces of the tower.
Okay.
And like after 10 seconds or so pass, then it becomes a sword fight. So like it's an interesting.
And
it's
then
a
it's
really
a sword
cool
fight.
game.
Yeah, no, that's very cohesive.
It's also a very broken game though. Like the way old Roblox buttons work would be like if you dropped a hat on something, or if anything that wasn't a leg touched it, then it would break entirely. And I think that's what happened there.
All right, well, we can just float around for a bit. All right, well, maybe we can move on then from the classics. And I think we got one more cool game to look at with you today, and it's going to be something new here that no one's probably seen. Well, I guess except for the 344 people who voted on it. So let's take a look. I haven't seen this at all either, so let's talk about what we're doing here.
This is actually an entirely new, like it's a project I've been working on for like a year.
Okay.
But it's a 3D platformer, kind of in the same vein as those old games we saw.
Uh-huh. Oh,
and it's
it's here to join us.
What one really fun thing about it, press E while you're running and you can do a somersault. And then and then if you jump while doing a somersault, you do a long jump.
Oh, you're getting real. And I saw a double jump maybe there too.
Yeah, there's also double jumping.
Look at that, and you switch legs on each jump. That's awesome.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, we've moved on to barrels. Definitely not Donkey Kong inspired.
Oh yeah, the barrels are definitely Donkey Kong. Let me figure out where Jack went here. There's like a little bomb survival area there.
A little homage to your previous work.
You can press F to pick up the bombs and throw them at that wall over there.
Oh my
And this is all actually like localized, so like all the bombs falling, only you see those bombs, and
really?
Stuff you affect is only affected on your screen. Because this is going to be like an obviously single player inspired game. Yeah, grab that shiny brick, and there's going to be 3 of those in this little demo that you're going to be looking for.
Wow. This is pretty cool. I can't believe how much is already, though. You can tell you've come so far with all of your scripting and stuff. All the custom animations, all the interactions.
Yeah, this has like fully localized obstacles. Like the player controls are the hugest part. It's just really fun to just kind of long jump around.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a little basketball mini game where you have to pick this up and make some sweet dunks over here. That's done by jumping and pressing E or F to throw it. You can also just jump off the spring and go into the hoop there.
I think he threw his basketball outside of the arena, though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Oh, we broke it.
Yeah, if you respawn, it comes back, so.
Oh, well, next obstacle, see if you can complete that one. Man, that's cool. You made the own custom health bar and everything. That's pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
So your vision for this game is to be kind of a single-player experience.
Yeah, like, of course you'll still be able to see other players and such.
Okay.
But, it's gonna be, like, mostly all the stuff that you do only affects, like, your screen and stuff. It's, so, you know, like, when you lose a life, all the stuff in the area respawns, so, like, you can try it again from, ground 1. Uh-huh. Which is, something that I don't know if any other Roblox games have done.
Yeah, no, that seems that's very interesting to do. Smashed it.
Oh, did he break the hoop finally?
Yeah. So you're saying, so for the other guys here, like most of them, they haven't broken the hoop yet, they're seeing it still intact.
Yes, they are, and they can't go back
very
behind
cool.
the hoop.
Yeah. I like how he's keeping his basketball. Is this some new meta that he knows of, another secret?
I don't think you can like unlock doors with the basketball or anything.
No? Okay.
Yeah, you might want to drop it so you can get your double jump back.
Oh, that's true. It disables the controls. Wow, you thought of everything here.
Yeah.
Nice. We got a key. Oh, that's the key. That was a question mark.
Yeah, you take that over the blue door.
Just throw it in the door. Oh no, can't stop. Love the little pickup animation or icon you have there too to show everyone that. That's a very cool little tooltip.
Yeah, I just added that to make the controls a little more obvious.
Yeah, oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Oh, Davidia is back with us again.
Oh, Davidia.
And talking smack on Jack. Who is this guy? Oh.
Yeah.
Heck,
Oh, you got the key up there. At
fighting
least.
words. And there's another shiny brick. So that was 2 out of the 3, right? We're almost there.
Yeah. Well, one is up to the left here. If you have trouble with these cogs, there's a spring on the left. That's that's the baby route. If you have trouble there. There you go, left there, and there's gonna be another shiny brick there.
Got it.
The third one
Yeah.
is actually in this main central area here.
Okay. Oh, in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
What are these blue bars? Like a checkpoint? That's where you're gonna spawn. Is whichever one of those like lights you trigger.
Yeah, the checkpoint things are, if you die, then you just respawn there.
Okay. So that keeps you like in the proper zone.
Uh-huh.
So what's your grand vision for this game? How big do you want to make it? And what's kind of your thought process here?
I have 5 worlds, all
Okay.
of them with really cool themes. Each one is going to have 10 main missions.
Uh huh.
I want to have like an overworld where like all the story stuff happens.
Oh, okay.
I was going to have like an apartment system where you can like customize like stuff with furniture. Not sure. That's probably going to be put into another game at this point, which you'll see hopefully this year.
Okay.
But basically, as this game has been made, I think I actually started making this in like 2013.
Uh-huh.
And it's changed vision so many times, and like I'm finally happy with what it's becoming. So
Great splash screen there for the winner. Very good. Graphic
oh,
design.
did you get the winning screen?
Yeah, you won.
Yeah, I worked very hard on that winning screen. It took me like 2 hours to draw.
Very well done there. So we talked a little bit about game design here, and you've come a long way here. So I want to ask you questions about your newer project here. Do you think about things like user retention? Is there replayability on a map like this? Do you think people will keep coming back? Is that something you're interested in, or did you just kind of want an adventure?
Well, the adventure I want to do is like the main focus, but there's also these things I have planned that will like hopefully make the gameplay kind of infinite.
Okay.
Like basically this weird single player prestige system where
Okay.
like you could kind of loop around and start the game again, and like every time you do, stuff gets changed slightly.
Uh-huh.
And like every time you do that, you unlock like really special stuff that like other players who have only beaten the game once don't have. And
Some new tools.
that's
maybe.
just that's just one idea I have, besides like a ton of unlockables.
Uh-huh.
Of course, like huge worlds to explore.
And then are you creating these worlds, though? Because this is like a content-driven game, so it's going to require a lot of effort kind of on your part to kind of go through and create the worlds and keep providing new content to people.
Yeah, that's one reason why this game won't come out for a while, is because like I wanna do like the Super Bomb Survival like huge update first, then one more game to kind of like ground my expectations for like a game of this scale,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm just gonna tackle it. And
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons why people create games, and now it seems like you really are just creating stuff that you yourself would like to play and enjoy. That's kind of a big focus. Do you think about things like monetization at all? Purchases, things to actually sell within the game to kind of make money, or that's not really a focus for you at all?
that's of course like a secondary interest, because like if I don't get that, then it's harder to make more games easily.
Right. You can't just do everything for free.
But I try to of course not be intrusive about it or anything. And like with Super Bomb Survival, it's like 100% optional. You
You're
can
right.
unlock all of the game's content without spending a single Robux. And
Which is some would argue the best way to do that. Let the fanatics spend money to support you when they need, but don't require anyone to.
yeah, it's like kind of like all about patience versus like instant gratification.
Right.
Like there's those whole two different types of players and stuff. But like I said earlier, one of the most important things is like trying to solidify an experience that everyone can enjoy.
Cool. So what's the time frame you think you'll have before this game comes out live for everyone?
Whew. I don't even know if we'll see like the full version of this in 2016.
Oh, really? Okay, so you got a lot of time. So do you work alone? I guess that's my follow-up then. Do you have like a studio you kind of put together? Do you work alone? Like, how do you build these games? How does it work for you?
So far, I work alone. Like all the games I make so far, like besides like user-submitted maps, have just been me. Like I do the sound design, the graphics, just kind of a one-man band sort of scenario. And it's worked pretty well for me so far. And of course, it makes like huge projects like this a little harder to tackle.
Well, you've got a lot of animations I've seen. That's a ton of custom animations I've already seen in this.
Yes.
It's a lot right there.
Like before this map that I actually just made in the past 2 days for this stream. There's just like kind of a base plate with like all the game's basic assets. And even that was fun to play on because you can just kind of long jump around and like double jump and shoot yourself out of cannons and like.
Yeah.
I feel like it was that way with Super Bomb Survival too, where like when the base game is that fun, then like you know that it's something worth going after.
Seems like you could almost add some of these movement controls into Super Bomb Survival eventually too.
Oh, that would be really fun.
Yeah, you know, and that's a lot of games are fun just because of the movement and just like the feeling of controlling the actual character is so satisfying.
Exactly.
It adds a lot to a game.
That's definitely what I was trying to go for with this. Like I spent like at least like 5 months like getting these controls just right. Like the double jump, for example, I just added 2 months ago.
Okay. It took some time to make all that.
Oh yeah. Lots of tweaks, lots of just like editing values in tiny ways to make sure that everything was perfect.
And at this point, are you mostly just doing stuff on your own, tweaking stuff, or do you still, to this day, kind of use the wiki as kind of always there to give you more information?
The wiki is definitely still useful to me because like I forget how to tween GUI. Like
right.
Like every time I want to make something move across the screen, I have to open the wiki. But it's like it's fantastic, especially when new features get added because you find documentation on like new events and new functions. That's what I find the most useful about it.
All right, so let's move out of the game maybe space a little bit. I want to talk kind of about you a little bit here.
Okay.
So you're making games a long time. Do you plan on continuing this? Do you want to make games professionally? Do you want to work for a studio, create your own studio? What's kind of your vision with these games, or is this just kind of a fun project for you on the side?
Right now, I have just an overflow of ideas. There's like 3 more games that I want to make, like 3 big games that I still want to make on Roblox before moving to anything else. All very different experiences. Okay. And after that, what I would love to do is make just like a standalone platforming game in the vein of like Banjo-Kazooie, games like that, like the old.
You like the adventure platformer. You like those little elements of both. Not quite. Just
yes, and my plan is like learn 3D modeling and like actually emulate that style where there's not many polygons, and then do like high res hand drawn textures for everything to kind of give it like this unique feel. And I'm excited about that. That's probably like 2 years into the future, but I'm still excited about it.
That's the plan. And now, are you studying computer science at all? What are you doing in life outside of Roblox?
It's not much actually. It's kind of like my whole job right now, and like I've been able to make like a solid living off of it, which was both surprising for me, but also like it goes to show how like amazing a platform Roblox is. Like it's probably one of the best places to get started right now. Yeah,
and because you're just one guy doing all this stuff, which is still pretty incredible. Like, because the sound design alone, the animations, that's usually like one person already, has to handle each one of those elements.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily amazing at any one thing, but I can
tell graphic design is your passion.
I can do all these like things pretty well, I think, to make an experience that works pretty well on its own.
Yeah. I don't think I've even seen this level. This is kind of a cool level.
Oh, did Jack get somewhere?
Yeah, we're jumping back into the Super Bomb Survival here.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though. I'm excited to see some of the new features. I see some of the events happening. Do you plan on kind of expanding the random events occurring within the maps, too, to keep it more interesting?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Basically, my plan for Super Bomb Survival this year is just to add more everything and make sure it runs better and make it more fun for the types of players who maybe don't have the best time playing it.
Yeah. The ones that don't have you running around healing them and keeping them alive the whole time.
Yeah. One of those is actually like a pacifist mode where people can't hurt you anymore, but also you can't hurt people with your skills.
Okay.
Which will be nice for newer players. And for older players who like the whole like mess everyone else up strategy, if you keep pacifist mode off, you get a lot more credits at the end of the round.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's a cool way. That's a good way to think about it. That's cool. So, what's your favorite game on Roblox to play?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
I think right now, let me check my favorites actually.
just take a look. What was my last play?
I
game?
revisit them a whole lot. Work at a pizza place is huge.
Oh, original
that's
thought.
one of my favorites.
Yeah, not a lot of people think that. That's very unique.
Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff that I appreciate. Like it's very easygoing and like everyone loves it. Like it's kept so many players and like just by being such a simple idea executed so well. I like that a lot. Super Blocky Ball by Maelstrom.
Yeah.
Astronomer is one of my recent favorites.
It's funny. A lot of people think that. It made like a huge resurgence recently. It was like a front page game on like the top 5 all of a sudden. I was like, whoa, that was cool.
Yeah, it's another one of those games that's just so fun to control, especially with a controller. Like it's so smooth.
Yeah, he was one of the first guys to really like kind of master the controller support, the gamepad. That's awesome.
And I guess my third in my list of favorites would be Explode One's adventure games like Adventure Forward, Paper Roblox. It's he's been featured on the blog. His stuff's really great, and he's coming up with a new game that should be out in like a month.
Oh, nice. I'll have to check it out. Do you know what it's called?
It's going to be called Super Paper Roblox.
Super Paper. Noticing a little theme here. I think you just like games titled Super.
But yeah, the title doesn't do it justice because it's like this really fantastic single player story driven game.
Oh, really? Wow, that is.
It's really
it's
cool.
incredible when people make those single player experiences on Roblox. It's hard to make content driven titles. It's much easier to scrap together some mini games, make a multiplayer, and be like, yeah, play infinitely.
Yeah,
You'll never get to the end. It's a much easier concept.
Definitely.
But this is also a new map I haven't seen. I guess there's just a ton of new maps I haven't seen. It's funny, I played this game so much, too. This was actually, I will admit, one of my initial favorite games. I joined the Roblox family not that long ago, about a year ago, and so it's a little overwhelming to jump on and, like, learn Roblox. You're like, okay. Yeah. And, of course, one of the first games I saw was yours. It was on the top, the list, and absolutely, this was just, it's so fun, and it's just passive enough that you don't have to be too competitive, but it is also a challenge.
That's what I was going for. Like, it's not necessarily like super competitive. It can be cooperative. It's easy to pick up.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that.
And a nice progression system. It's really important. The progression can be like make or break a whole game. That's what keeps a lot of users. Keeps that retention high.
Yeah, definitely.
So, all right. Well, this is awesome. Tyler, so what time are we at? I think we're wrapping up, reaching towards the end of the show here. I don't know if we have any more questions for anyone. Unfortunately, I don't have my Twitch chat iPad, so I can't actually see what the chat is asking for. I don't know if Jack over there can see any questions or anything. He was not set up for that. I'm just springing random events on him. But
I don't see any in particular.
Oh yeah, can you see things over there too? Maybe you can just see them and answer their questions. If you guys have questions, go ahead and type them in the chat here. I guess Tyler might actually be able to see you guys directly. Maybe we can answer anything else as we're kind of coming to the end here, wrapping up the show.
Someone said Polyhex would love Super Roblox 64. My character is actually a boss in that game, so yes, I know about that. I know about that game, and I do love it. It's fantastic.
That is hilarious. Yeah, that is a fitting game. You're the boss. Are you one of the bosses? Are you Bowser Jr.?
Sort of. Yeah, I'm very Bowser Jr.-esque.
Nice. I predicted. I knew it. Cool, Tyler. Well, hey, thanks for coming on the show. You've been an awesome guest here with some really cool games, and God, I'm excited to see more stuff from you. That's, your newer projects clearly are leagues above where you started here, and it's
definitely
going to be incredible to see what kind of stuff you create.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun stuff lined up for the future, and I'm just really excited to start hammering at that some more.
Nice. Well, hey, keep me informed. I'd love to have you on again as things come out. I want to thank Jack in the Blocks in the back there. He's been playing games for us all day and actually did a great job. Jack, you're not a noob. Everyone knows you're a master now. And then, of course, thanks Rex, our producer in the background, keeping all the cameras and mics working. Thanks for joining us today on the Creator Show. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another guest. I'm not exactly sure who that is yet. I'll let them know on the next level. Maybe they'll tell you guys on Twitch. And I guess that about wraps it up here. Thanks again, folks. This has been the Creator Show. Tyler, thanks for joining us. Do you have any last words you'd like to give to the people out there?
I just like to reiterate that Roblox is like a really good place to start game development.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here, folks. Tyler McBride making his living on Roblox, making sweet games, having fun. So thanks again, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks with another creator show. I'm Jay Party. This was Polyhex, Tyler McBride. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks for having me.